Now, factually speaking, no judgment from me, but Hugh Jackman has been plagued with rumors of sexuality throughout his entire career. It has been speculated for a host of reasons, some fair, some not. We are learning that Hugh Jackman, Wolverine, will be deposed, and I suspect that that might be making Ryan Reynolds extremely nervous.
Hugh Jackman's name typically conjures images of Wolverine's claws and Broadway pizzazz. But behind his accomplished facade, countless rumors trail him. For years, questions about his personal life have quietly circulated, especially regarding his orientation. He's brushed them off repeatedly, yet they've resurfaced with heightened force now that he's slated for a deposition in a lawsuit that promises to expose far more than legal jargon. It all centers around major Hollywood friction. 1 minute, Jackman is set to reprise Wolverine in a flashy new project with Ryan Reynolds. The next minute, tabloids explode with talk of a massive legal ordeal that might drag Jackman into a swirl of depositions, text leaks, and behind-the-scenes deals. And here's where things get messy.
I'm going to tell you why this is interesting to me, because I have a lot of questions about Ryan Reynolds' bromances, his various bromances over the years. We've talked about him and Jake Gyllenhaal, and obviously this has been a bromance that has been very much thrown in the public's face.
Some insiders even point to the timing of his divorce, 27 years of marriage, ending right as Deadpool 3 and certain Marvel collaborations start hitting major roadblocks. The question is, does that coincidence really hold up? Fans watching from the sidelines find the narrative more intriguing than any blockbuster. The story weaves together professional backstabbing, personal vendettas, and rumored secrets. That, if proven true, could tip this celebrity feud into territory few expected. And the deeper you go, the more you'll realize that Hugh Jackman's alleged revenge might be fueling every new rumor. But that wasn't the whole story. Ryan Reynolds, Hollywood's quick-witted darling, has always exuded a laid-back charm. He's the comedic master of social media jabs and cameo-filled marketing stunts. But apparently, even the most charismatic front can crack under enough pressure.
Apparently, junior high kids, they've leaked all these text messages. And here's one supposedly from Ryan Reynolds.
Insiders insist Ryan's unraveling behind the scenes, worried about what Hugh Jackman might reveal if he's forced to testify. For those just catching up, the rumor mill has churned out a wild premise. Reynolds is allegedly juggling more secrets than he can handle, with hush-hush text messages fueling speculation about his own personal life, particularly his orientation and the state of his marriage. In the public eye, he's the devoted husband and father who banters with fans online. Behind closed doors, some say he's locked in a tense standoff with his longtime buddy-turned-rival Hugh, and perhaps even more tethered by outside influences than people realize. What's more, a massive $50 million lawsuit is said to be on the table, one that could hold Ryan personally accountable for defamation and contract interference claims targeting multiple people, including Justin Baldoni.
What's that last line? What's that last line? Oh, he's gay. Oh, yeah, see, straight guys don't say that.
If that case trudges forward, it might tear down the comedic persona Ryan's cultivated for years. After all, depositions are official business. You can't hide behind jokes on the witness stand. Yet the biggest shock is that Ryan doesn't seem to be waging this battle alone. Hollywood watchers are pointing fingers at someone else possibly pulling the strings and making things that much more volatile. And that someone is Blake Lively, often appears on glossy magazine covers sporting that all-American, friendly smile. But the tabloids and certain anonymous insiders tell a radically different tale. She's been called a master manipulator, the real power behind Ryan Reynolds' throne. The speculation is that her good girl image is carefully choreographed while she orchestrates deals that keep Ryan's star power and her own ambitions at the top.
And that's, I'm not some conservative, and I'm men gotta be men. Just straight guys don't say that.
Recent leaks paint a portrait of Blake as strategic and at times ruthless. Fans highlight official text messages that appear to show she's the one who nudged Ryan to sideline Hugh Jackman, cast suspicion on others in their circle, and even pushed Justin Baldoni out of a project. Each action, rumor has it, was meant to consolidate her influence, ensuring she'd stay front and center in major Hollywood ventures. The big question, is it actually Blake who wanted Hugh Jackman's potential cameo or involvement minimized because she feared that behind-the-scenes tensions might unravel the carefully constructed facade around her own household? Critics say, if you look at Ryan and Hugh's friendship, it often felt over the top, like a comedic performance that got hammered into talk shows, tweets, and cameo appearances.
And as soon as you look at him in that light, you're like, yeah. And on a side note, I worked in Los Angeles for years and spent a lot of time in West Hollywood doing jobs. Gay guys are great.
Now, some interpret it as a forced partnership for publicity that only existed because Blake demanded a bigger star orbiting her and Ryan's brand. Then, when the arrangement turned sour, or threatened to reveal deeper truths, she may have been the first to yank that cord and push Hugh out. It's a theory that's lighting up comment sections everywhere. And if that sounds outlandish, wait until you hear about. In showbiz, rumors are common, but actual text messages are another matter entirely. Word on the street is that certain messages, potentially from Ryan or from people in his orbit, have found their way online, and these tidbits are fueling everything from comedic speculation to vicious condemnation. Those who've dissected these messages claim they're loaded with references to the alleged friction between Ryan and Hugh, as well as strong hints that Ryan might be grappling with his own sense of identity.
There's nothing wrong with being gay in any way, but he definitely is. Oh, he is.
Fans analyzing the texts see repeated suggestions that Ryan feels trapped or cornered, possibly because he's not fully at peace with how he's living. Naysayers see that as nonsense, chalking it up to standard Hollywood gossip. But it doesn't help that many of these leaked exchanges also suggest a fierce behind-the-scenes involvement by Blake. Some claim that if Blake weren't so controlling, Ryan wouldn't have launched certain accusations or forced certain conflicts, like the ones that now put him in the crosshairs of a defamation lawsuit. Add to this the Hugh Jackman angle, with rumors swirling that Hugh himself might have leaked these messages out of revenge, and you have a meltdown scenario perfect for fueling endless online debates. But that's not the only explosive element. Another name is swirling around, seemingly out of nowhere. To further complicate the plot in a twist few saw coming, actor and director Justin Baldoni has surfaced at the center of the defamation and contract interference claims.
So Ryan Gosling wins an award, and as a bit, Ryan Reynolds, Andrew Garfield. That's funny. That's funny to steal Ryan Gosling's little moment there. I'm willing to commit to a bit. An impassioned kiss?
Baldoni, known for his own productions, says he's been targeted by Ryan Reynolds in an orchestrated smear campaign. The allegations? That Ryan, or those close to him, labeled Baldoni a predator, painting a harsh picture that could ruin his career. But why? Some watchers say it ties back to a project titled It Ends With Us, in which Blake Lively had a major stake. Baldoni was also heavily involved, and rumors suggest a power struggle erupted behind the scenes. The theory goes that if Baldoni didn't cede creative control or certain demands to Blake, Ryan would back these ugly accusations, effectively boxing Baldoni out of Hollywood. Baldoni responded with a lawsuit, slapping Ryan with defamation and interference claims. Now the big question, how does Hugh Jackman factor into it?
So, when you get a beard, a woman that will disguise your gayness, going younger is better. Not only young, but objectively stupid. She's not very intelligent compared to him.
If the leaks are accurate, Ryan might have roped Hugh in as a character witness or used him in promotional bits. But as soon as tension escalated, Hugh found himself inadvertently sucked into the lawsuit vortex, especially once the possibility arose that he could reveal incriminating details about Ryan's real motives or state of mind. If any texts or calls show that Ryan never truly believed Baldoni was a threat, defamation becomes harder to deny. This is where fans suspect that everything from hidden agendas to personal truths might come tumbling out, especially once depositions begin. And there's a sneaking suspicion that a certain someone may have chosen this moment to toss in a match. When rumors started to swirl that Hugh Jackman's statements could either vindicate Ryan or destroy him, observers realized there might be more to the story.
He's very quick-witted. He's also very charismatic. Like a gay guy.
Once upon a time, Ryan and Hugh appeared buddy-buddy, joking in public, exchanging playful jabs, and drumming up hype for their Marvel crossovers. But if you look closer, some fans argue Hugh's involvement was more about supporting Ryan's comedic gimmicks than forging a genuine bond. Then came the bombshell. Talk that Ryan deliberately pushed Hugh out of certain Marvel negotiations, effectively costing him opportunities. Some even speculate that the comedic dynamic was to keep people focused on a friendship, while bigger deals were being made behind the scenes, deals that favored Ryan and, by extension, Blake. If that's true, is it any wonder Hugh might be bitter enough to leak sensitive texts or feed tips to commentators? Others believe Hugh's newfound willingness to testify or to engage with negative press about Ryan is connected to the swirling rumors of his own personal life.
Gay men they have a light in their eyes that straight men don't have. We don't!
After all, Hugh himself has long faced speculation about his orientation. If depositions aim to drag out secrets, Hugh might flip the script and reveal Ryan's rumored hidden lifestyle or personal issues first. It's a tit-for-tat scenario that has internet sleuths salivating for the next reveal. But that wasn't the whole story either. Through all this speculation about closeted relationships, forced marriages, and orchestrated illusions, fans point to the real reason so many eyes are fixed on the entire fiasco. Both Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds have faced persistent chatter about whether they're truly living as their authentic selves. Online commentators talk about lavender marriages or beard relationships, terms used when a celebrity marries someone of the opposite gender primarily to maintain a straight-laced public image. While many dismiss these rumors as typical celebrity gossip, others insist the patterns are too strong to ignore. Ryan's flamboyant comedic bits, where he shares a quick kiss with another actor or peppers interviews with same-sex jokes, fuel the speculation. Some see it as harmless humor, others perceive it as a subtle expression of who he might really be. Meanwhile, Hugh's longtime deflection of personal questions has raised eyebrows, especially now that his nearly 3-decade marriage ended abruptly.
We don't. There's a twinkle, okay? Gay men look like that. Spend enough time around them. I have great gaydar. Straight men look like that.
Fans ask, was the timing truly accidental, or is there something bigger lurking beneath? Against this backdrop stands Blake Lively, often mentioned as the architect behind Ryan's squeaky clean family persona. The repeated claim is that if Ryan were free to show who he is, he might drop the perfect husband act. But with brand deals, endorsements, and blockbuster paychecks on the line, it's allegedly more profitable and safer to present themselves as an unbeatable Hollywood power couple. These whispers might be standard gossip if not for the serious lawsuit that drags personal truths into the public eye. Court documents, depositions, and leaked texts don't just vanish. Once they're out, they can reshape how fans view their favorite stars permanently. Justin Baldoni's defamation suit stands to force more than a few testimonies under oath. Ryan has been seeking to dismiss parts of the case by claiming he genuinely believed the allegations he made against Baldoni. But if any evidence surfaces showing Ryan expressed doubt, or if text messages reveal behind-the-scenes manipulation, his defense could implode, leaving him open to major damages. That's precisely why watchers believe Blake Lively's PR team is scrambling. Observers say they're pushing to have sensitive materials labeled attorney's eyes only to keep them from the public. It's a typical move in high-stakes litigation, but it also screams that the couple might have more to hide than just unflattering opinions. Speculation ramps up about how Hugh Jackman's forced deposition could blow the lid off everything. After years of comedic banter, if Hugh testifies that Ryan orchestrated controversies for personal gain, or repeated a certain lie about Baldoni, Ryan's credibility might be shattered. At best, it would reveal cracks in their so-called friendship. At worst, it could unravel the entire public persona that Ryan and Blake have upheld for years. The real nightmare scenario for them? If depositions turn up explicit text messages or emails showing that the perfect marriage act is a front, or that major deals were pushed through questionable intimidation tactics. Such revelations might confirm a pattern, manipulate or threaten those who don't fall in line, all to protect the brand. But that's still not the end of the story. The public is no longer just reading headlines. They're actively choosing sides. In any high-profile conflict, the public thirsts for a villain. Increasingly, that role is being pinned on Blake Lively. Comment sections, online forums, and social media threads are packed with anger directed her way. The overarching narrative is that she wields her influence to ensure Ryan never breaks from their carefully crafted family image, while also strong-arming colleagues to keep her own projects front and center. Critics argue that she's capitalizing on the sweetheart label in mainstream media, even as alleged leaked texts paint her as the prime instigator behind hush-hush drama. According to these claims, whenever Ryan's comedic brand or her personal career hits a snag, Blake is the one to strong-arm or scheme in the background. The more these rumors circulate, the more fans accuse her of turning a blind eye to Ryan's real issues, whatever they may be, and insisting he keep performing the role of devoted husband. Naturally, Blake's supporters dismiss this backlash as sexist or scapegoating, claiming it's convenient to lay all blame at a woman's feet. They insist that if Ryan is tangled in controversies or personal conflicts, he must take responsibility for his own choices. Still, the chorus of voices labeling Blake the mastermind only grows louder as new revelations drip out. While the lawsuit with Baldoni and the tension with Jackman are front and center, other cracks are emerging in Ryan, Reynolds' friend circle. Observers point to his past bromances, like the publicized camaraderie with Jake Gyllenhaal, and note that these relationships often revolve around playful jokes that some interpret as innuendo. Whether it's a comedic bit on stage at an award show or a flurry of social media banter, it follows a familiar pattern. Ryan acts teasingly affectionate toward another male celeb, fans laugh, headlines pop up, then it fades away. In isolation, it's harmless. But when you line up each instance, the persistent rumor surfaces. Is Ryan testing the public's reaction? Or is he simply that skilled at comedic marketing? Adding to the suspicion is the idea that these stunts might be orchestrated in part by Blake to maintain a flow of positive or at least viral attention. If so, that cunning approach has now spun out of control, culminating in a major legal battle that threatens to reveal the private details both of them worked so hard to conceal. Then there's the notion that Hugh Jackman, having been overshadowed or cut out of Marvel opportunities, decided to release a trove of information. The timing is suspect, given his own divorce and possible desire to shift negative focus onto Ryan. From Hollywood gossip boards to mainstream entertainment outlets, the storyline is that this meltdown is no coincidence. Someone wanted to blow the cover off Ryan's brand, and it's hitting Blake in the crossfire. One thing's clear, the feud overshadowing Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds is no scripted Hollywood gag. With lawsuits on the line, depositions scheduled, and new leaks emerging, everything points to a high-stakes standoff that could reshape their careers. Rumors about closeted identities, controlling spouses, and brazen manipulations swirl in the background, raising the question, who's really orchestrating this spectacle? Some suspect Hugh Jackman is out for payback, dropping hints that crack the pristine image Ryan and Blake cultivated. Others believe the entire fiasco was always about power, brand building, and silencing threats. And throughout it all, fans are questioning what's real, who's lying, and how much of this carefully spun narrative is about to crumble. Will the looming lawsuits force Ryan Reynolds to admit he crossed ethical and legal lines? Will Blake Lively's alleged role as the mastermind behind the scenes turn public sentiment against her for good? Or will Hugh Jackman's possible involvement in leaking texts stand as the ultimate betrayal, overshadowing everything else? Hollywood's best-kept secrets rarely stay hidden forever. As the courtroom battle looms, viewers around the globe are bracing for the moment actual evidence goes public, confirming or debunking the rumors that have consumed them. One way or another, the i.e. truth will surface. And when it does, the shockwaves might leave the industry and fans reeling far more than any blockbuster twist could. Only time and a judge's ruling will decide which version of events stands. Until then, buckle up, because every day brings chaos. A new ripple in the biggest drama Hollywood never intended to script.